Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a full body flow to set us up for our week. So thank you so much for joining us. Let's grab a yoga mat and let's get started. So to get started, let's find a comfortable seat. Sitting cross-legged here, we're just going to check in with the body. You can keep your hands down on your knees, or if you want, you can take a mudra with me. So I'm placing my pointer fingers here internext with my thumbs pointing upward. Taking some time here just to breathe. Focusing on your body, finding peace in the stillness. To start, we're going to go ahead and drop our right ear to our right shoulder, rolling it all the way forward, left ear to left shoulder, rolling it forward, right ear to right shoulder, rolling it forward, bringing the left ear to the left shoulder, rolling it forward again, right ear, right shoulder, and again, left ear to left shoulder. Now from here, we're going to do some seated cat and cow. So using your knee as kind of as like a support. Let's push our back, round it back lightly, looking down at the ground, coming forward, shining that heart forward, shifting your gaze up towards the sky, and finding this fluid moment between the two. Into cow, moving forward into cat, pushing back into cow, and forward back into cat. Coming into neutral here, let's swan dive our arms up towards the sky. Let's take the right hand, bring it down to the ground. You can either stay here or go down on your forearm to create a nice side bend here. Bring both hands up towards the sky. Drop the left hand down to the ground. Creating another side stretch here, feeling it along the right side of my body. Again, arms back up towards the sky. Drop the right, feel the stretch along the left. Coming back up to center. Dropping the left, feeling the stretch along the right. Come back up to center. And let's hinge forward, coming down to the ground in front of you. Slowly come up. And I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see what I do here. Keeping my legs crossed, I place my hands behind me, shining the heart forward, just creating this little back bend here. And from here, I'm going to roll forward into a table pose. Doing some cat and cows here, so dropping the belly, shifting my gaze forward. Pushing back, rounding the back. Maybe doing some light rocking forward and backwards, dropping the belly, looking forward, shifting that back up towards the sky, and drop the belly, shift the gaze forward. Now from here, I'm going to extend my legs out towards the sides of the mat, rounding my back up into cat and slowly going back into a child's pose. Staying here for a moment. And on your next inhale, round the back up into cat, coming back into table and dropping the belly, looking forward. Pushing that back up towards the sky, rounding the back, sitting back into child. On your next inhale, keeping that back rounded, coming up to table, dropping the belly, looking forward. Rounding that back again, pushing it back up towards the sky, sitting back into child's pose, melting down to the ground. Staying here for a moment. Go ahead, coming up just into a normal table pose. Let's go ahead, extend the left hand up towards the sky. We're actually going to wrap it behind the back, trying to shift your gaze up forward towards the sky. Bring that left hand up towards the sky and thread it through underneath your body. Coming back up to table, let's take the right hand, extend it up towards the sky. We're going to place it behind the back, shifting your gaze up towards the sky. Extending that right arm back up towards the sky. We're going to thread it through underneath our bodies. Slowly coming back to table pose. From here, let's just activate our ankles a little bit, so tapping them on the ground behind us. Now I want you to lightly lift your knees to stretch out the tops of your ankles. So putting the weight on the back and lifting up your knees. Doing whatever's in your practice. It can be just an inch off the ground. It can be maybe 5 inches off the ground. Whatever it is. Coming back to neutral, back to table. Finding your strong table again and lifting up your knees. Coming back to neutral. Taking a moment here. I'm going to resituate myself. As we are getting warmed up for today's practice. Okay. Coming back into table pose. Let's go ahead and extend the left leg out, right arm up in front, finding this alignment. Here, let's hug it in, bring your nose to your knee, hugging in that knee. Coming back, extending it out. Bring that right hand down, bring the left hand up. Taking it back, grabbing onto the ankle, and moving into this pose here. Extending that leg up towards the sky. bending it in, trying to tuck it into your arm. Bringing it through to pigeon pose, so the left leg forward in the pigeon. Let's create the twist. So right hand on the front, left hand on the back, shift over, look over that left shoulder. Coming back, twisting the opposite direction. Now you can either stay here, or I'm going to grab onto that back leg and just pedal it forward and backwards here. Releasing it, coming back forward, moving back into a table pose. Relaxing here for a moment, maybe just shifting my weight back and forth. Go ahead, extend your right leg back, left hand up, finding this alignment here. Finding the line. Go ahead, hug in that right leg to your chest. Try to bring your nose to your knee. Extending it back out, creating a line. Let's bring the right hand down to the ground, left hand down to the ground, right hand up towards the sky. Let's bring that right hand back to the right ankle, creating this nice pose here. Stretching into it. I want you to try to hug in that foot now, kind of into your elbow, and just holding this pose. Relaxing, coming out to the line. Let's bring the right leg forward into a pigeon pose. Finding the stretch here, and we're going to create the twist, so left hand forward, right hand on the back leg, and look over that right shoulder. Coming back to center, twisting the opposite direction. And let's go ahead, we're going to grab that back foot and pedal it just forward and backwards here. Beautiful. Coming back to table. Pushing, meet me in a downward dog. Walk the dog here. Take the left leg up towards the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. And flip your dog if it's in your practice. Make a big arm circle with the arm. Switch directions. Let's come back to three-legged dog. Step it through to high lunge. Bring your arms up. Warrior two, turning that back foot over to the sides of the mat. Let's reverse the warrior. Coming up. Bring it all the way around to triangle here. You can bend that front leg if you want. And you can either stay here, or we're going to go for a bind. So taking that left hand, placing it behind my back, right hand, and trying to meet the hands here. Shifting my gaze upwards towards the sky. Extending my hands upward, bringing them both down to the ground. Coming to low plank. Heel tilling that foot out to cobra. Into this lizard pose with my chest facing forward. Tucking the toe in the back, pushing back into a three-legged dog. Bring that left leg down. Let's walk the dog here for a moment. Go through our vinyasa, so high plank, chaturanga down to the ground, upward facing dog, push back, downward dog. Let's take the right leg up towards the sky, bend the knee, open the hip, and flip the dog. Let's make some arm circles with the arm here. Big arm circles, reverse directions. Coming back, meeting me in a three-legged dog, right leg up. Stepping that right leg through to high lunge. Shifting into warrior two. Back foot turns towards the side of the mat. Reverse the warrior. Come meeting me, shifting all the way forward. Bring that right hand to the ground. Maybe shifting your gaze upward towards the sky. Let's bend into it. Take that right hand underneath the leg behind you and go for the bind. Opening back up. Bringing both hands to the ground. Coming to a low lunge. And heel toeing that foot out into a lizard pose. Shifting that gaze forward. Pushing back up into a three-legged dog. Bring that leg down, go through our vinyasa, so hover over to high plank, all the way down to the ground, push upward facing dog. Do a light twist here. Maybe do a light back bend. Come up to a downward dog. Now let's cross our leg right over the left, left over the right. Keep crossing till you meet in a forward fold. And melt down to the ground here. Try to bring your nose to your knees. I'm hugging the back of my legs here to pull me deeper into the pose. Let's slowly, inch by inch, come up into a mountain pose, standing up. And from here, I'm going to find my strong mountain pose and create a figure four. So you can either go below the knee or above the knee, never on the knee because you don't want to add pressure onto our joints. So finding strong here, you can bring your hands to heart center. Finding your focus point to find your balance. Let's bring our arms out towards the side. And you can either stay here, or if you want to go a little bit deeper into it, you can take this and cross it over and sit down into the pose. And if you made it this far, go ahead, try and go into a forward fold. Staying exactly where you're at, I'm just going to transition to turn to the side so you can see the next movement. Let's go ahead, keeping the leg pose here, swan diving our arms up towards the sky. Bringing that leg, bringing it behind you, grabbing it on with that left hand, and moving into dancer pose. Slowly moving back just into a mountain pose, relaxing the body here, maybe moving it out. Finding a nice strong mountain pose here. Let's go ahead, we're going to take our right leg, bring it up either below the knee or above the knee. Wherever you're at, just bring your hands to heart center. And bring your arms out towards the side, finding this strong here, strong stance. Now you can either stay here if you want to go deeper into the pose. You can take it, create a figure four, bring your hands to heart center and sit into the pose. Now, if you made it this far, go ahead, trying to go to a forward fold here. Staying exactly where you are, I'm just transitioning to the side so we can move to the next posture. Swan diving your arms up towards the sky. Bringing the right leg back behind you, grabbing it on the right ankle with the right hand, moving into dancer pose. Slowly coming back to center, to mountain pose. Let's go ahead, swan dive our arms up towards the sky. Swan dive to the ground. Just slowly walk forward to the front of your mat, bringing into a seated pose. Legs out in front of you. Let's go ahead, fall into a forward fold here. Melting down, hinging forward. Now for this next pose, we're going to give you some options. So you can either do a version of the bridge here, so where you just lift up your hips, so you can stay here. You can go completely into a wheel, or if you want to try to challenge yourself, we're going to do this cool transition. So I'm taking my hand, placing the fingers towards that side of the mat, and finding my feet here, and I'm going to go ahead and bring myself all the way around into a bridge. Rocking forward and backwards. Slowly just coming back into the starting pose. I'm going to do the same thing but with the opposite hand. So placing those right fingers towards this side of the mat, finding the position with my feet, and bringing myself all the way around into a bridge. And from here, let's just go ahead, melt down, laying flat. Tug our knees into our stomach. You can just lightly rock back and forth. Whenever you're ready, let's go ahead, and you can either lie completely flat, or I'm going to bring my legs to a butterfly pose. Just opening up my body here, relaxing. And slowly bring your hands to heart center. Thanking your body for showing up today. Thanking yourself for being here, for blessing your body. The divine light in me recognizes and sends divine light to you. Namaste.